Now, the first featured poet is Hala Alyan. I can't say enough about her. I actually read with her at Soup Polo's back in January of 2012, I believe. And this is her third appearance here with this, the Anti-Tea Collective. I'm still calling it the Anti-Tea. Hala Alyan is a Palestinian-American poet. She's studying here for a PhD. She's won poetry awards and has had appeared in many venues here in New York City. A recent book of hers called Atrium was published by Three Room Press by Cat George here in New York City. And I highly recommend this book, and she has at least 15 of her videos on YouTube. I'm very proud and honored to introduce Hala Alyan as our first poet. Thank you.
Thank you. I have three pieces. Before I start, I just want to say thank you so much, Bernard, for inviting me to be part of this and for putting it together. It really is an honor to be part of this. Okay. So the first poem is called Gaza, or Gaza. This is weight. This is I did not know they made smoke like ocean. This is aluminum dusk and sulfur clouds. This is Sabah al-Khair. Morning of luck, morning of cinder, this is steam and ruin and flashlit bodies, this is counting your loss, this is losing count. This is man greets dawn with head tilted back, this is man gargles shrapnel, this is I cannot count fast enough, this is Samhaini, is forgive me, this is Samhaini. This is daughter. This is I am half yours, this is half light thrust, midwife from some candle, this is some parallel life where my father's father took a left, grabbed a fistful of soil, and instead of leaving, saved. This is diaspora. This is always through a television screen, this is always the wrong questions, this is 5 other coastlines, this is gutless, this is don't change the channel, the least I can do is watch. This is diaspora. This is carry your name in Bangkok. This is carry your name in Brooklyn. This is wrecking ball of compass. This is I did not know they made sky so famished. This is metal. Reincarnation of metal, of children, limp gray dust beneath buckled buildings. This is sky of knives. This is body is not body, but silhouette, ribcage, and shallow grave. This is history of shallow graves. This is I am half yours. This is 4 a.m. dream over and over again. This is 4 a.m. dream of marble and garden and some ornament of sea. This is dream self taste pomegranate. This is dream self touches sand. This is you in that courtyard, is you in that salt. This is I woke and it was sun and I forgot. This is dedicate the poem. This is dedicate the song. This is don't dedicate poem or song, dedicate the breath. This is Samhaini. This is half yours, half light thrusts. This is tunnel vision of after. This is treasure gleam in pirate hands. This is try to forgive the world for what it chooses to forget. This is I did not know this earth had jaw enough to hold all the things your children have dropped. This is village. This is village eats ash for a week. This is Allah. This is girls terrace bones for luck. This is boys press flowers for luck. This is what luck is it to survive one bullet for another. This is black water and phosphorus fish. This is lost electricity. This is hands muddy from sifting through rubble. This is hands muddy for anything breathing. This is 7 types of illness. This is rage is bread if it keeps you alive. This is Allahu Akbar. This is pray with both hands. This is I did not know you were all eyes and cathedral bones. Did not know you were all dirt and eyelash, all wrist and spine and teeth for months. This is seamstress. This is rooftop woven from night sky, groves planted from ash. This is you still boil water for Metamia. This is wait. This is keep waiting. This is nothing but bones and luck and passport. This is half yours. This is believe me when I say this is daughter and scared and sorry for that fear. This is carry your name in throat. This is carry your name in Beirut. This is not gun. This is not missile. This is make the world say your name aloud over Gaza and over Gaza and over Gaza. This is until they hear your music, because this has survived. This is you are loved. Light spans for you over land and sea. You are in the mouth of Tripoli shoreline and Boston nightclub and Paris street corner. This is voice too soft. This is Samhaina. This is forgive us. This is daughter. This is ornament of sea. This is flame the size of lungs. This is wooden bar in Brooklyn and a fire on the television screen. This is don't change the channel. This is Samhaini. This is Samhaini. This is daughter. This is lamplight reciting Fatiha. This is atlas. This is wait. This is keep waiting. This is some thread stretches gossamer thin across oceans, and some seawater is moth-winged gentle in dreams. This is compass finding east. This is voice learning to lift. This is daughter. This is half years. This is carry your name everywhere. I have two more pieces. This one's not titled. He calls a river a lake. Says, look how this galaxy is all echo. Look how the sky is all dome. Says, I like your curls. Where are you from? He says, what's your Valentine? I say dust. He says, let's be tragic. Says, I have drawers full of chemicals and a fever in my throat and nowhere to be until February. He says, I like your curls. Says, with hair like that, you must know some alchemy, some desert, some romance of ash. Says, with hair like that, you must know water. Where are you from? He says, what's your Valentine? I say dust. Dust, because no one says remember the shipwrecked. No one says they torched the library in Baghdad, remember the flames. No one says Mama gave us shoreline and Baba lost a key, and we could have been harp unstrung or beatbox brethren warming our hands on the sulfur of song dust, because women still float lifeless like flowers in rivers, and no one says stop. No one says you can find God with your body, you can arch your back and disappear. No one says smile for that flash is phosphorus. God, baby, you hang easy from that tree, and no one says stop. He says, what's your Valentine? I say dust. He says, what is ice if not surgery? And what is constellation if not confetti? And what is land if not a mouth? And I mouth the things I love, so where are you from? He says, let's be tragic. Let's be tragic. And so we said tragic, and we said tragic until we saw the crimson that gleamed like ruby from the slit throats of children and humps, and then we said, oh. He says, what's your Valentine? I say dust. Dust, because I learned cities like sculpture. I sculpture against their neon bodies. I scatter lips, hips, hands, breath, dust, because it might be air and dirt and tide, but it is also light and grass and moon. Dust, because maps are trickery. Because I know men who carried all of Ramallah, Gaza, Jenin on their back and unflowered the boxes in tiny Midwestern backyards. Dust, because they found mosques, even in backwater creeks, sat practicing the lilt, the drop, the roll, valley roll of each letter of faith. And from home they brought nothing of the copper teapots, the jasmine trees, the sunbirds brought nothing but the dust they carried on their skin. He says loving a city doesn't count, which is like saying that rocks don't have memory, or a hillside cratered with bombs is not as human as lullaby. Says loving a city doesn't count, which is like saying that fires don't remember the hands that lit them, because a city will break your heart. He says, what's your Valentine? Don't say dust. He calls a river a lake. He says, look how the sea is all fossil. Look how this planet is all storm. Says, I like your curls. Where are you from? Where you from? Where you are from is where you break, or return, or kneel, touch forehead to soil, where you say please, grace, thanks, give dust, take dust back, where you remember. Remember. I remember history sheds land as shamelessly as clothing, but I remember because Grandma gave stone with her mint and Grandpa kept a typewriter, and I have always been from the dust they carried on their skin. It was rain. Tiny droplets against glass at the corner of two streets named after empires' reign. And rain, and around us people sang, made music with hands against wood, you tasted of salt. You kept your hands on my hips as we listened, as we lowered eyelids heavy, let the music freckle the faces we tipped towards sky like orchid, like light was strange in that city. Strangled around fire escapes flickering at midnight. We each got a lantern and some bread, and we slept and woke and slept and woke, and you said sunrise, like it was a command, and I said maybe, like it was a promise. Little speckled map, I and the face at the window glass, fogging fingers starfished as you walk. Feet over rock like paintbrush, you smile. Darling, this world is all cave and cloud, and I have always been Ophelia's girl, attracted to disaster. Running towards fire with savage hair and half-shut eyes, and you are flare. A smoke signal sent up into the sky like something I should have known better than to follow. It was rain. And a hurricane on another coast brings us drizzle and tiny dancing things, darling. Each sea is a ribcage and the moon is a whore. All vanity, all cheekbones over the Atlantic, look how she eats. Look how she turns hungry to beauty, licks bones clean, keeps her bed the sky and the sheets all stains. I another story. I'm sitting at a loom. I am unraveling to the beginning. Not Eve, not fossils, but maybe coastlines. Maybe coastlines. Maybe our bodies, graceful as jellyfish ballet, met 200 years ago. Maybe decay. Yes. Maybe I was bullet and you were thigh, or else you were lightning and I was sky. Maybe it was Greenland or Japan or Nebraska. Maybe what we worship is the unlit, is the simple ink of tentacles reaching out of bodies flat and slick with the open hands of love, and I am empty with love. I am boarding airplanes with hands on heart and throat. I am landing on other runways with my hair grown out, waiting. You find me in marketplace, laid out like fruit, stamped like silver. You find me in alleyway with the gifts of other men still in my pocket. You find me asleep, dreaming not of sky or water, but deserts. Scorpion bones and coyotes blazing beneath sky. Betrayal. I am all betrayal, all skirt slit high. Only one. We are not the only ones. You keep girls with black hair in shrines. Keep them coming in water with their red lips, their cocaine eyes, and I am snow globe. I am waiting to be shaken. I am crowded beneath 3 blankets in winter. In winter, it is always winter here. And you said August, like it was a souvenir. And I said remember, like it was a crime. You have faith. A castle in every city. People leaning eager and hungry in their seats for the things you dangle like crumb trail. I trail crumbs too. I keep the awful bones of old love scattered on 3 continents, and I have boys beneath soil in Dublin, and I have boys facing Mecca with sins between their teeth, and I have boys in unlit rooms ill off of this century you tasted of salt. And lungs. And if I could find the lungs, I would follow you down like Persephone, down to the dark, down to the lightless. It was rain, and I'm still breathing, still waking to you elsewhere, and I want another story. I want another ending, but you said love, like it was the punchline, and I said don't, like it was a dare. Thank you so much.